This is the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine, with all your media coverage this week brought to you by HP Tuners. We are here at Virginia International Raceway for Wednesday of the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America. First group is just taking the track for the morning session. We got Super K and Cunning Stunts, Goodyear. We got Shalil going off fourth. Trying to see who this is that went off fifth this morning. Looks like the first, it's Andrew and Team PGR in the Tesla. I think we've got either Peter or DJ in the Supra. And I believe the last car going off this morning is the first of the Smoko Corvettes. So for those of you that have been to VIR, today we're doing things a little bit different. We are not utilizing the front pit road. We are actually gridding and leaving from right here between the office building and, if you know, the little barn right next to the pagoda. Everybody's staging up there and leaving right next to the tower. And then once they get finished with their 3 laps, they are going to exit the track at pit road down on the south course just beyond Oak Tree, and then they'll have to work their way all the way back around the track to return to paddock. It'll speed things up a good bit. So I already hear Super K completing his side-in lap, and he is rolling up to the tower here at start finish. So we are just like less than a minute from live action here at VIR. I think later on we had some more interesting things happen yesterday. If you didn't check us out while we were at NCM, but we'll fill you in on that and let you know all the news that is fit to print. So we got everybody getting lined up and looking over at the tower to see when Chip's going to give them the green. I think the last couple of cars are making their way up to start finish. He's putting away the red flag, and I think we're just a couple of seconds away from going green here. Super K is away. So it looks like, other than their little diff seal issue that they had on Sunday at Worldwide Technology, that they have actually been error-free throughout the rest of the week. I know that knowing Andy and Alex so well, even if the car is perfect, they're still wrenching on it to get that extra little bit out of it that they can. Here comes the Cunning Stunts Porsche. Goodyear Turbo S. getting positioned to make that hook and go up through the snake on his way to the uphill S's. And as Shalil goes through there, here comes the Tesla of Team PGR. Try to go pretty quickly today with us using the south course as pit out, but the course is large enough to where even in these first groups we can run 6, 7 or more cars as Super K just blasts by start finish to complete his first lap, sorry. Shalil getting his second lap going. There is Andrew in the Team PGR Model S. They've opened up quite the gap to the Smoko Camaro, which he is, looks like he's had some splitter trouble, and he is running around with his four-way zone. Looks like he may have had an off somewhere on track, but here he comes. That splitter just a-bouncing. Looks like the car is eating a snack. He's just wanting to make sure that he gets his 3 laps in so he doesn't take a DNF. He just let the Super pass there right after left hook. Here comes Super K. Super K throwing down another flyer. Cunning Stunts starting their final lap. Comes Nick. Well, I don't know if it's Nick or Josh in the Porsche this morning. Shalil on his 3rd lap. As the Supra crosses the line to begin his 3rd lap, Super K's done. He is completed his 3 laps. The Smoko goes by. Morning, Reg. That Corvette is definitely not happy now with that splitter. And he's still got one more circuit to run. Comes a Cunning Stunts Porsche. Super K did pull a little bit of a gap on him, but he didn't pull a very, a huge gap. But Super K has been the class of the event this year. Schleel finishing up, as is Andrew and the Team PGR Tesla. And guys, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here at VIR. Very few clouds in the skies. It's currently about almost 60 degrees this morning here in Alton, but with the sun, it is already baking pretty good. So off in the distance, I see my broadcast partner heading this way. We'll try to get him on mic here just directly. And here comes that Smoko Corvette. Finally done with his first of his run groups.
You know, Brian, I've often wondered what one of those Pixar cars would look like in real life. There it is right there, going around turns 1 and 2 and chatting to us as it goes around. Has a little bit of a stutter, but that'll get corrected over time, I think.
Yep.
Good morning and welcome to Virginia International Raceway. It's a beautiful day, gorgeous facility. Cars are on track circulating. Nobody's had an issue so far, thank goodness. And mostly everybody made it here last night. Scotty's here, and albeit a different car, but he's here today too, which is nice. Cars are on track, and showing HP Tuners some love, and today's kind of fun because we get to do a passenger control later. We'll bring you that. Probably we'll do a quick live here, I suppose.
Uncle Reg says, "Good morning, Solomon."
Good morning, Uncle Reg. Those purple badges worked a treat yesterday. Allowed people to get their delicious lunch over at NCM. Courtesy, of course, of Bridgestone. Thank you very much, Bridgestone. And today's passenger control check, another tire manufacturer, BFG, in conjunction with Skip Barber, they as well as are donating a couple of sets of tires for our charity auction at the end. So super nice of the manufacturers, very much appreciated, and always trying to get nearer to that $200,000 mark for the Broadgates Memorial Fund. So again, if you're listening to this and aren't here this year and want to partake and do some good, feel free to mosey on over to the Broadgates Memorial Fund site. Of course, everything goes to the Alzheimer's Association. Make a donation today, make some difference, and help us reach that goal of $200,000 this year. Greatly appreciated. But I'm going to leave you in Brian's capable hands for a little while. I'll be checking back and forth as we're taking care of some ops and some other stuff, but it looks like a beautiful day. Brian giving you the coverage that you want as you're sitting in your mom's basement in your underwear watching the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine, with coverage brought to you by HP Tuners. Thanks so much.
I don't know if it's capable broadcast or the broadcast that they want nor deserve.
Can't always get what you want, but we're going to give you what you need.
I've been kidnapped. I'm under their command. Please send help. Please, sir, send help. So we got the next group rolling up to start finish. We got the Penguin Garage Corvette. I did not see when they were rolling up. I didn't see if Tim or Bill was at the wheel, but it's either a South Carolinian from Columbia, where I live, whose mom and dad live about 8 doors up from me, or it's a guy from the Great White North. Doesn't matter. Both great guys. Both are previous one-lap runners. Bill and his wife, I believe they last ran in, I want to say 2017. They had the Dodge Durango, and they toted a camper around the entire week, which they stayed in the camper instead of getting hotel rooms. And then, of course, Tim White, he did the event for the first time back in, I believe, 2023. So Tim's back and Bill's back. Glad to have them both back into all the calamity of this big old dysfunctional family. And the Penguin Garage Corvette is down and away. Second off in this group is the Michelin Corvette. That car is with Andrew Simmerl and Derek Second. See what we got now. That was, sorry, losing my train of thought there. It was Corey Kozar in the white Porsche, and he was just followed by Ian Stewart, the funny flat four noises. There goes that really, really loud E-Ray. Brian Peters and John Hogan. And it's like Scott O'Donoghue. Scott Donahue. I keep making him sound more Irish than he already is. Scott Donahue in that Shadow Buddies car. And here we go with Scott Robertson in the first of the 3 Cardinal Coupes. The Penguin Garage Corvette just finishing up their first lap, going down into turns 1 and 2. They'll be coming into frame here any second. As they go through the left hook, here comes the Michelin Corvette. But that gap's pretty well the same. Corey appears that he's taken a little bit out of that gap to the Michelin Corvette. Ian Stewart. That little Cayman GTS. Peters and Hogan E-Ray. Scott and the Shadow Buddies Porsche. Talking to a few of the competitors this morning as Scott Robertson comes to me on his second lap. And the Penguin Garage Corvette starts his third. I was talking to a few of the competitors this morning and them talking about how this is their first trip ever to VIR. The last time that one lap was here at VIR was in 2013. That was year 4 of the Lee Keen and Doug the Mad Scientist Wilkes dominance of the event. And that was their final overall win in one of those Nissan GTRs that kind of dominated the event for several years. Of course, Lee and Doug, first year they won the event was in a GT2. And then they stepped up their game and went to the GTR. First, the gray one that they ran with in 2011 and 2012. And then came back with their version of the Red Rocket. And then that car ended up going to Hugh Bate, and they won overall in 2014, I believe. I don't remember. After multiple years of doing this, it's kind of hard to remember who won what year, what tracks we went to. Solomon and I had a long conversation about that the other night. Remembering going to tracks, but forgetting things that happened during the week. But I believe it was 2014 when they won overall, as the Penguin Garage Corvette has finished up his 3 laps. Corey's morning session done. Just saw the E-Ray fly through the start-finish line. Comes Ian and his Cayman. Scott Donahue across the start-finish line. He's done for the morning. Next group out, so we've got Rob Bowen in the Parks Farm Porsche. Then right behind him is going to be Kevin Welsh. Then Chris Brierly in the Shaky Dog Racing Roto-Rooter Corvette. After them, Chad Gilsinger in the Heart Racing Acura Integra. Behind Chad looks like Chris Levitz in that On the Ledge Racing Camaro. JD Kroll in the second of the Shadow Buddies Porsches. And if there's one more to go, it's going to be the Forsyth Racing Supra. Going to stand here, you're going to be on mic.
Okay.
So Daryl Norman, co-driver of the Parks Farm Porsche, is joining us. How was your ride from Bowling Green last night?
Wasn't too bad. Got in about 1 o'clock or so. And I just posted, did you see? We took a detour and hit some state park, ran up a river in Kentucky, and had like probably 45 good minutes of like Blue Ridge Parkway style ride.
Nice. Very nice. There's a 58's like that, but it's right now all construction, so you can't have as much fun. And we were dodging deer left and right last night.
Oh man, no, we hit like a good little sunset patch of 68-degree weather for like 35-40 minutes and just cruised.
So how do you think Rob's chances are here? He's got a good number of laps here at VIR.
Yeah, we've done a handful of endurance races here, so man, it's a fast car and fast track. A little bit of nerves mixed in, but I think he's got a good chance.
I think there's a lot of bit of nerves mixed in when you come here, when you go to Road Atlanta, even though
he's got equally as many laps over
multiple
there,
laps there. That track and this track can
swallow you up pretty good.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we found that out yesterday with Scotty in the Red Rocket at NCM.
You see a Supra yet?
I have not seen the Supra yet.
Yeah.
I heard all about it on the drive over last night. We have not talked about it on camera yet. I think Solomon and I are going to do a feature on the new car, which I believe Solomon has dubbed the Black Mamba.
There you go. Yeah, I was talking with him before he left, and we were discussing rental cars and getting his car backed up to a body shop I do a lot of work with, get that thing sorted out. I think everybody who hasn't fixed the car yet didn't understand that that's totally within reason to be fixed and sorted out. So I think he'll have the red car back on the road in a couple of months. But yeah, we were thinking, what's the best rental we could get for him? And 2 hours later, I was sitting down for lunch, and lo and behold, he just bought a new car.
By chance, do you have a vest?
No.
Yeah, so the track doesn't want anybody out in this area.
Okay. Okay. Can I have one? Okay. All right, cool.
Try to warn you before security comes over here and hauls you up.
No sweat.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, that concludes my interview.
Yep. Since Daryl didn't get media creds,
That's it.
he has to go bye-bye.
Tapping out.
So kids, say bye to Daryl.
Later, everybody. Appreciate it. And we'll catch up here in a little bit.
First laps as Rob's getting his hand slapped by security for being over here without a media credential vest. I could have told him that he was not supposed to be here, but he's a young kid. He doesn't listen. There goes Gunslinger in the Acura. Chad's had out of the field today. Chad Gilsinger's probably got more laps here than any of the other drivers. They did a lot of the testing for the NSX here. Of course, Chad works at with the Honda plant in Marysville, Ohio. Chris Levitt's in his Camaro taking off there through the left hook. And the right-hander starting the snake over in front of the lodge. Forsyth Porsche. I'm sorry, Forsyth Supra. We were talking Porsches and Supras, and I got a little discombobulated there. Yep, we were just talking about the Supra, and we were kind of talking to him on the phone back and forth on the way from NCM last night, and had him hooked up with some of the guys from Toyota PE Motorsports. Talking about the car before he just took the pocket change out and took delivery of that Supra that he's now the proud owner of. Here comes Chris Brierly in his Shaky Dog Roto-Rooter Corvette. I'm glad to have Chris back. Been a few years since he was here. Brought his son with him this year to join in on the fun and become a lap dog. Chris Levitt's in the On the Ledge Racing Camaro. Here comes JD in his Porsche. And as the Forsyth Supra gets ready to head into the left hook, Rob Bowen is coming out of turn 2, headed towards us right now to start his third lap. Looks like Rob has opened up a nice little gap to Kevin Welsh. Kevin's just entering turn 1 now. And Chad has just about cut in half the gap to Kevin. So Chad's got that little Acura humming. And Chad is also a Grand Am and IMSA veteran in both the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship Series and the now Michelin Pilot Sport Series. He's had some great teammates along through the years. One of them most notably Ryan Eversley. When he and Ryan were running together in one of those Hondas, they were unstoppable. Chris getting his third lap going. JD coming through, starting his third lap. And Rob Bowen just took the checkered. Rob had a very, very fast session. Here comes the Supra on the beginning of his third lap. And it's still yet to see Kevin Welsh come across the line. I hear him now. So Rob put an immense gap between he and Kevin this morning, and Chad just crossed. He cut another probably 3 seconds out of that lead to Kevin. So really good session for that Acura. Got Chris Squared going through here, finishing up, Chris Brierly, and Levitz. JD is taking the checkered flag now. Looks like our next group, we've got the HP Tuners Supra. Not sure who's at the wheel this morning, if it's Adam or if it's Jake. As the Supra crosses the line, finish up. Looks like we got, like I said, we got the Supra, we got the Kentucky boys. Got Randy Popst in the Roush Performance Stage 3. Got Bowie Gray in his BMW. And then we've got a pair of Camaros. I can see Mark Johns, but on the other side, probably either Soon Chin's or I think that's going to be Soon's. So we got the Kentucky boys went off first, followed by the Supra. Then Bowie. So yeah, it's Camaro, Soon Chin, and Justin. Next after them. Then we got Mark John. Randy Popst. And finally, after Randy, Scott Mattis. Cycling around, getting their side-in laps taken care of. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the 2025 Power at One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. Media coverage this week brought to you by HP Tuners. We're here for 2 sessions today. We're going to have a little passage control over at Skip Barber with the fine folks at the Skip Barber Racing School and BF Goodrich. And then we will be off for pit race tomorrow. And hopefully with no rain, we'll get to do some drag racing tomorrow afternoon, late tomorrow afternoon at Quaker State Motorplex in Ohio. Really hoping to be able to get that done because we've not had drag racing in quite a few years. We've got a lot of competitors that came in at 2021 that have never experienced the low ET and bracket drags. We're just waiting on the final few cars to get slotted in at start finish, and this session will be under Quaker City. Yes, sorry. Usually when I think Quaker, I either think oats or motor oil. Here come the Kentucky boys on their first lap. Bowie's another driver that's had a lot of laps at this track. He grew up not too far away. I believe Bowie, he resides now in the Atlanta area, but I think he grew up out in the Research Triangle of North Carolina, so he's very close to this. He was very close to this track growing up. As the Camaro goes through NASCAR in the left hook, Randy Popes just took the green. There goes Mark John. Scott Mattis just took the green, so we got 2 of that crazy Iowa contingent of one-lappers out on track right now. I don't know if it's something in the water, the corn, or the soybeans, but these Iowa guys keep coming back and somehow keep multiplying. Every couple of years we get another group out of the great state of Iowa. With Scott just going past us, I hear that Kentucky boys Corvette just passed start finish, and he's braking hard to go into turn 1, and we ought to be seeing him coming out of turn 2 headed towards us. We transited with them a good while last night, stopped in their hometown of Somerset, Kentucky, and had a really good meal at a Mexican restaurant that they frequent. They said they frequent about twice a week. Really, really good, authentic food. Had a great time, some laughs, good bit of fellowship, and then we hit the road to continue our journey here to VIR. Looks like Mark John's already chasing down the number 40 Camaro Sun Chen and Justin. And Randy Popes is catching up to that group. Looks like Mark John's already gotten around the number 40. Picked him off probably at the entry to turn number 1. And I've got a feeling that Randy will probably dispatch that Camaro, if not in the uphill S's, somewhere between South Bend and the entrance to Oak Tree. There's Scott Mattis starting his second circuit here as the Kentucky Boys Corvette passes start finish. Like they've pulled a little bit of a gap to Bowie and his BMW. And here comes that slick looking HP Tuners Supra. Adam Spence and Jake Sanders. And it looks like Randy has gotten around the 40 Camaro and has gotten around Mark John since we saw them last. Scott Mattis crossed the line to start his third and final lap. And with that, the Kentucky boys ought to be getting ready to take the checkered flag. They should be coming past the pit road rooms and garages. I hear him coming around now, and he is getting ready to and has crossed the line to finish his morning session. Kentucky Boys Corvette puffing out a little bit of smoke there. Hopefully nothing to be concerned with. So next across the line is the Supra. And I believe I hear Randy Popes headed this way. There goes Randy. Mark John shouldn't be too far behind. Mark John's across the line. Get the number 40 Camaro. And Scott Mattis should be filling out this group here any second. think the number 40 Camaro thought he was still on a fast lap because he passed Mark John pretty rapidly going into the left hook there. He may have had an issue with the pass that Randy put on him or what, not sure. Looks like our next group out, we've got the Team Rumspringa Porsche, driven by either Eric Scheimer or Ben Schott. It looks like the Killer Whale Racing Camaro out next. I'll verify that when he comes around. And we got the Iowa boys in the Z06, Ryan Whalen. We got the BF Goodrich entry. That's piloted by Ed Gliss and Ross Bentley. Right behind them, we've got that 911 Carrera S. I believe David Black's going to be at the wheel of that this morning. And we got the GRM entry, the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, and I think we got Eric in the first of the Dad Bod Car Mod Lotuses. We got everybody zipping around on their outlap. So it looks like we got just about everybody lined up. See Chip at the station, at the flag stand, and he is giving the green to the Team Rumspringa Porsche. There goes Hodges in the Killer Whale Camaro. Followed by the Z06 of Ryan Whalen. Having to tiptoe a little bit through NASCAR there. BF Goodrich Type R. Comes Andy Hollis in the Ioniq 5N. First of our Lotuses from the Dad Bod Car Mod Corral. Team Rumspringer finishing up their first lap. Next group's getting up on the grid. Looks like we're going to have the remaining two Cardinals going out, nose to tail, as James Hodges crosses over start finish. And Team Unicorn heads toward the left hook. Here comes that Killer Whale Camaro. Looks like the Z06 has pulled a large chunk out of that gap to Hodges. Comes the Type R from BF Goodrich. On those new Phenom tires. David Black in his Porsche. And I believe David's from the Raleigh-Durham area. I think, I want to say either Cary or Garner, I can't remember, but that's another one of those Research Triangle area cities that's just a little more than an hour away from here at VIR. So this is their local track. And Andy Hollis. We also got in this next group, we'll have Steve Loud in his Viper. We got Ray Guerrero in his Porsche. Here comes Eric in the Lotus. Let's see who else is rolling up here to the grid. Tim Curls there, and Jim Bob, and David Carr in that Dodge Charger Daytona EV. As Rumspringer begins its final lap, Hodges still fighting off the Z06 of Ryan Whalen. As he comes into frame, you're going to see Ryan right up on his tail, getting close. Hodges' entry there into NASCAR made it almost look like he was possibly driving a little bit in the rearview mirror. But hopefully he can hold off the Z06. We got the Type R coming at us right now. Comes Andy Hollis coming at us right now. in that EV Hyundai Ioniq 5N. And the little Lotus just crossed start finish, heading into turn number 1 to begin his final lap. See Chip with the checkered, and should be Team Rumspringa going under the bridge. Yep, under the start finish line. Sorry. So his morning session is now complete. Like I said, wasn't sure if Eric was driving this morning or Ben, but both of them are very quick drivers, very capable. And James Hodges did hold off the Iowa Z06. Eric's been in the Team Rumspringa car. Eric Scheimer, he's been doing the event on and off since 2011 with quite a few different co-drivers. His first year, he and Scotty Coors teamed up together. And he is driven with Leah Crotu. So we missed seeing Leah here at the event. Last year, he teamed up with Tom in Tom's Supra, which Tom is here again with Blake Osmond. Comes the Type R cooling down after 3 laps of attack here at VIR. Andy Hollis across start finish. And don't forget, guys, this is not the only content today you can see from us. We've been putting up daily recaps each day on the YouTube channel, as well as our live broadcast. So if you haven't, think about giving us a subscribe, give a thumbs up, and if you subscribe and want to find out whenever we post something brand new, just hit that notification bell, and as soon as we post something, you'll get a little dingy ding or a buzzy buzz on your phone, and we'll let you know that, hey, you got some stuff you can watch. That helps out with the live videos also, because as soon as we go live, you'll get a notification on your computer or your device to let you know that we're live and in living color from somewhere around this country. I see Steve Loudon just took off, and right behind him, the first of the Cardinals, followed by the second Cardinal in this group. There's Steve coming into frame. Ray Guerrero and his Porsche are taking off. Jim Bob and his Corvette. David Carr in that Charger Daytona. With our next group getting ready to stage up here, I do see the Shelby GT500 of Mark and Todd Thompson out of the North Atlanta area. I believe they're Marietta. Looks like Uncle Howard is going to be right after him. Howard Lefevre and that number 69 C8. We're going to change a little vantage point here so we can give you some of the speed that you see out of these cars. We're going to walk across here and get sort of adjacent to start to finish. As these cars are lining up to begin. Hope nobody's motion sick, watching on their computer or on their phone right now.
I punched Brian for you. Because I didn't see it. But this one's for Brian. Bam.
There you go.
You guys streaming?
Look at that, David Carr down and away. We've got this run group out on track. We'll find us a little shady spot as well. Getting a little warm there in the sunlight. Phone was heating up a little bit as well. So what we're going to show you is a full bore pass of each of the cars. I think Steve Loudon's on his way here right now. There goes Steve, completing his first of 3 laps. First of our Cardinals. First Cardinal, the 66, the green one, that's Brian DeFries. His co-driver, Eric Streeter. Here goes Tim Pearl. Thought the braking zone was a little bit earlier than it actually was. Jim Roberts, Jim Bob Racing Corvette. There goes David Carr in that Daytona. Sorry, I got sidetracked. The other Cardinal is Ryan Finch. Or as the one lap people like to call him, not Brad. Sort of a inside joke from the one lap family. Then we got Steve Loudon coming right now. Yep, there he goes. Brian DeFries finishing up his second lap. Goes our other Cardinal. Ray figuring out that kink a little better this time by. Jim Bob walking the dog on him, but right behind Jim is David Carr in that Daytona. Here's Steve Loudon finishing up his morning session. And Freeze taking a good bit out of that gap to Steve. Third of the Cardinals just takes the checkers. Get called across the line. Porsche from Ray Guerrero. Jim Bob, and we ought to see David Carr not too far behind. Here he comes. And there he goes. So that is another group of cars completing their morning session. In just a few seconds, we'll be seeing the next group leaving the pits. Get the camera situated so you can see them coming right past us here at our position. And then we'll whip back around for all the live action. Mark Thompson, Matt Shelby, Howard Lefevre, Doc, Dr. Charles Lovelady. Then we got first of the Toyotas we've seen this morning, the Camry. Then we got Brian Maskey in his GT86. We got, looks like after him is Bob and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bob Archer and Ted Castle. They've been with us for quite a while, and then Shri Patel in the Toyota 86.
Runner yet? Runner? Yeah. Who was it? Yeah, I'm gonna have it.
Get us resituated here while cars are out on their side-in lap. Sounds like we may have had a car that missed pit in up at Oak Tree.
Figure out who it was? He's coming to us, Joe. I don't know yet. Oh, he's still coming. Yeah. He wanted to turn around, but he's not going to count. 23? Yeah, great quarter.
So it sounds like it was Ray Guerrero that missed pit in at Oak Tree.
They get out there and
So either Brocker or Solomon will have a little prayer meeting.
I'll text him. Yeah.
So everybody's lining up now. We got Mark Thompson in that Shelby. We got Doc in his Corvette that he's sharing this week with Don Harris. Uncle Howard. Well, no, like
Yeah, I knew he was way out of position.
got the Camry swapping spots with Uncle Howard. Got Brian in his 8.6. Then I think Bob and Ted are wanting Bob and Ted's Excellent Adventures wanting Shri to come around. So a little rearranging there. So I think we've got everything figured out. They're set. Camry is down and away. Uncle Howard waiting on getting the green from Chip. Uncle Howard, of course, one of the old guard of the event. Shree down and away, and now Bob and Ted's Excellent Adventure scooting around the racetrack. We'll get you back here so you can see the entrance to turn 1 and then the exit of turn 2, and entering NASCAR here. And get you to where you can see pretty much all the way over to Left Hook now. Everybody out now circulating on lap number 1. I hear Mark Thompson coming towards us. You're going to see a orange flag. He heads down into the braking zone for turn 1. Coming at us. Mark's day job is he is a Ferrari and Maserati tech. I believe he's got his Maserati Masters technical certificate, and I believe he's also a master with Ferrari. Giving a point by to the 8.6 there. So Brian's buying his 8.6. Uncle Howard's buying his Corvette, and Shree just passed, or I think it's Shree at the wheel this morning. Shree just came past in the Toyota PE Motorsports 8.6. Bob and Ted Excellent Adventure Corvette on the beginning of their second lap here. Mark starting his third lap. Seems that he's pulled out a pretty big gap. The second car in this group. Here coming at us now, which is Bob. Camry may facilitate a pass here on Doc shortly. Doc's not going to hold him up for sure. He is a longtime vintage racer and also a driving coach. And he lets the Camry by there in Left Hook. Howard getting chased down by Shree. Howard let Shree by at the entrance to Left Hook. And here comes the Bob and Ted Excellent Adventure, followed by Mark Thompson. Mark's pretty quick session for Mark. He was wheeling that Shelby around pretty good. Mark going to let that Shelby cool down as he makes his way over to exit the track just beyond Oak Tree.
Big gap. I know, but he wasn't that fast. 45.
Here comes the camera, getting ready to take the check. Just going back.
Rally lights. Yep.
Mark did open up quite a large gap. Here comes Brian and his Shree. Here's Uncle Howard. And all we're missing now is the Bob and Ted's Excellent Adventure car.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing them
That Shelby was starting to take the back.
here shortly.
Likes this one. Yeah. You were saying.
Like next up, I see Roxburgh. Mr. Lawrence, Corvette. Maybe one other
Finish line
Corvette
near you.
It's kind of hard keeping all these Corvettes together this year. I think our first Corvette, let's see, was John Young. He was running on empty. Corvette.
Everybody?
Running on empty Corvette. Grosper and his Enrique's Legacy honor his late father and many-time one-lapper. We got Danny Corliss in his BMW and Chad Lowers in the AMG grocery dinner. Tony Song in his number 59 Porsche. Got in the blue Porsche is John Grandstaff.
And then he went over to Chip. Chip was looking up the screen. Hummingbird's running around here. Yeah, he's right behind you. There's that
And then the BMW, that's the left lane sleepers.
I'm sure by the time I got to get home, they'll have made it to New Hampshire. We probably got there already. Yep, a couple more
So our next group is like Blake Osmond going to be in
Well, it's fairly fresh too.
the
Is it yellow?
Motorsports / Triple R ranch.
Beavis and Butthead are running around here. Super.
So for those of you that have just joined us over the past few minutes, this is the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsport Magazine. Media coverage this week.
Yeah, they pick up and
We
you saw a guy fly by.
are at beautiful
Yeah.
Virginia International Raceway. Albany, Virginia. We got a flip flop here. We got Dan Corliss came around Rosper there. We got the run on it before that first. Danny and his BMW second. Rosper third. Chad fourth.
Sure.
We're ready to go. Chat away in that AMG battle wagon. Tony Song in that 59 Porsche, and then John Grandstaff, and then the left lane sleepers. So we're all out circulating in this run group.
Some people wondering, going people here. They don't like that.
John Young and Danny Corliss have completed their first lap. Ought to see Grosper zipping by here any second. I hear him coming up on the left. time we saw them just zipping by. Next we ought to see the Perpetual Adolescence Porsche. Here he comes. Kevin in that left lane sleeper's BMW. Guys, I'm going to step away for just a minute. I need to get some water for this tired voice. But I'm going to leave you with the sights and the sounds here. And just keep watching. And I will be back with you in just a few short minutes. We'll run over here to the pagoda and get a little something to drink.
26. There's 26 on the list. Definitely not. And some of those I know are not done. The loud narrow is at 40. Yeah, 102.9 on the decibel meter and NCM with a 103 threshold. Runner? Yeah.
Keep my golf legs going.
Got the legs up. The only time I hit the stretch out is when I get in that car and get stuck in the back seat behind those guys. Oh, man. We got out about 10:30 left and we're 10 o'clock. I'm ready to drive, but I can barely just get out of the back seat. What'd you guys get in last night? 1:30. Losing the time zone sucks. Yeah. It was still a long haul. Tonight's just as long. Yeah. We have three nights of long haul. So. I don't even know what this is. Distance. There you go. Yeah. What, the extra one? 3. Oh, he's already gone. Yeah, was it the eyes that were coming off last year? One right up. Yeah, yeah. You wrecked it yesterday. That's what's happening. Yes. You okay? Yes, he was. Okay. All the airbags. Hard into the bear into the tires and the arm cone, and caught the left front, left rear, and blew all the airbags. I don't insurance, but I don't think that matters.
Oh, that's our point.
I think
We'll pick up the collection.
I think Scott will be fine.
We'll pick up the collection past the half.
And that's $250,000, right? It wasn't the top end. It wasn't the base model either. He's having a good little run for himself.
There it is. Yeah.
Heart team? Yeah.
All right, guys, we're back. Sorry it took so long. There's already a little bit of a line at the snack bar. Did I miss anything exciting? So our next group's lining up. Dan's going to release them here pretty soon. We've got Amos Winter and his Porsche, followed by Amanda Hennessy in the Impala. I have the Rambler right behind me. And that is our run group. Currently out on track.
Quick, Doc. Hey, Rocco, remember you're here. Bring me at least. Come on. Thanks for that hot late. And he said at least an hour. Didn't work. He'll split it 5 to 5. No.
Just here waiting on cars to come around. I hear Amos coming up behind us in his Porsche. For those of you that don't know about Amos, he is a professor at MIT in Boston, or I'm sorry, in Cambridge. He's got a great little YouTube channel called MIT Mechanic, where he shows his driving adventures. as well as when he's rebuilding and refreshing the engines in his Porsches and his other vehicles. He and his wife went over to Europe late last year and picked up a beautiful Audi RS wagon. And they explored Europe for a few weeks before coming back to the States. And we had the car shipped back here. We're waiting a couple more cars to show up, and then we're going to release. Drop green flag frames, and he is down and away, scooting off towards turn 1. The Mad Libs Racing AMC Rambler station wagon. Next off, Amanda Hennessy in her Impala. Ray in the 2002. In front of Ray, just coming out of turn number 2, is the HHR of Robert Dubler. Boss 302 heading out. And next, and the last car in this run group, Steve Racine. Circulating there. You can get a little bit longer lap times than some of the earlier cars. Those of you who don't know, you can always go to onelapofamerica.com and click on the live timing page and see up-to-date live timing from the run groups. I know we've had some super fast runs this morning. Haven't seen those times yet, but when we break for lunch, I'm going to check those out. As Amos flashes by, finishing up his first lap. He's heading down into turn number 1. In a brief few seconds, we'll see him coming out of turn 2, headed towards us. The Mad Libs Rambler, finishing up lap number 1. I hear Amanda coming through. As always, she's usually blowing the horn and flashing the headlights each lap. Robert Dubler in the HHR SS. Comes Ray in the 2002. Boss 302 finishing lap number 1.
Actual restaurant, huh? I kind of miss riding around with you guys. Going to real restaurants.
comes Steve Racine, completing his first lap.
I'll take a chance on it. Don't rattle over as well. That looks like somebody snuck it. That's the 6. Yeah. Keep time it. We don't
Here comes
slow it.
Amos, getting his third and final lap. Amos putting the power down in that vintage Porsche.
I was in the middle of eating my burger and I went, oh. Thanks.
Amanda is catching that Rambler wagon. We may see her in front of the wagon before they cross the line to finish their session. Robert and Eddie. Ray quickly catching Dubler in the HHR in his 1976 BMW 2002, which their tag-along trailer this week is the half of another 76 2002. Robert letting Ray get past. Next, we ought to be seeing the Boss 302, and then finally Steve Rossini in his BMW.
I was pointing.
And here comes Rossini. And there goes Amos. Taking the checkered flag. The morning session is now complete. And Amanda passed. She wasn't able to facilitate an overtake, but she kept it pretty close. Gave that Rambler a lot. Going to be seeing Ray coming through any second here in the BMW. And there he goes.
So right now we're 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Here comes Dubler in the HHR. his morning session. Now we're just awaiting the Boss 302 and Steve Rossini in his BMW. Here comes the boss across and Steve Rossini taking the checkered flag. Finish up his morning session. And with that, we are going to conclude our morning coverage from here at Virginia International Raceway. This is the 2025 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. Media coverage this week brought to you by HP Tuners. We'll be back. Let's see, it is right around 11 o'clock. We should be back a little after 12. If you want to know when we go live, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications, press that little bell, and whenever we have new content, you will be the first to know. So for all of us here at One Lap, this is Brian. You saw Solomon a little while ago. We'll probably see him again in the afternoon session, but we will see you then. Thanks for watching.